Hello students, today in your algebra class we're going to be working on linear inequalities. So to start, this would be a great time for you to pause the screen and try graphing these two equations on your own. Hopefully you've paused the screen and now we're just working on graphing. So for number 1 we have y equals 2x minus 4. Now if you remember the slope-intercept formula, it's y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is your y-intercept. So for number 1, we'll find out that our b is equal to negative 4 and our m is equal to 2. What this means is that our y-intercept is now going to be at negative 2, no, at negative 4, just right here. And our slope is 2, which, because it's supposed to say rise over run, we're going to divide it by 1 just to make it a fraction, which means we rise 2, 1, 2, and we run 1, right there. Now we're going to draw a line connecting the 2 points. And I know you can't see that, so I'll change its color. And there's our line. Same thing for number 2. B equals 2, m equals negative 1/2. So we're going to do the same exact thing. Our y-intercept is at 2, 1, 2. And our slope is negative 1/2, which means we rise negative 1 and we run 2. From there, we're going to go ahead and draw our line. And we're done. So the purpose of this lesson is that at the end of it, you should be able to graph linear inequalities. So here is a quick review of what the inequalities look like. Well, we're reading from left to right. So if we look at this one, the opening, which is facing the left, means greater than, because it looks like we have a lot or more than. Next one is less than. The line under means or equal to. So we have less than or equal to. And the last one is greater than or equal to. Now a really important note is that if there is a line under the inequality, then the resulting graph will be solid. If there is no line under the inequality, then the resulting graph will be dashed. So we're going to work on that over here. So first of all, they want us to graph the following inequalities. So to make it easier, we're going to remember the slope-intercept formula, which is y equals mx plus b. And we graph these in the very same way. We're going to find out that our m equals 2/3 and our b equals 1. So we're going to graph our y-intercept, which is at 1. And our slope, which is 2/3, means that starting at our y-intercept, we rise 2 and we run 3. Now we're going to draw our line, but remember that very important note that we had on the last page. It said if there's a line under the inequality, we draw the line as a solid line. If there is none, we draw it as a dashed. So let's look at our inequality here. And as you can see, it just says less than, not less than or equal to. Therefore, when we graph this, it should be a dashed line. So let's pull our dashed line. So here it is. And then the only other thing about inequalities that we have to do is shade, or shader inequality. Now what happens is, and maybe this might make it easier, I tend to draw a person on top of the line as if they were standing on top. Now here's our person, not the best looking person, but it works. And then we look at our inequality. It says less than. So if we have this guy, let's call him Bob, and we're trying to figure out where to shade, it says less than. So if we think about less than, does that mean it's above Bob, around here, or below Bob or under Bob because it says less than? So because it says less than, we're going to shade under. That means anything in this area counts as a solution because it's less than the equation, or it's less than the equation. So let's try another one. For the second example, again, we're going to solve for m, which is -2, and b is 3. So, same idea. We plot the y-intercept, and the y-intercept here is 3, so 1, 2, 3. And the slope is -2, or -2 over 1. So that means we rise -2, that means down 2, 1, 2, and we run 1. Now, we have to decide, is it a solid line or a dashed line? Again, we look at the inequality. Because it says greater than or equal to, it means it's a solid line. So we're going to go ahead and pick a solid line. And we're going to go ahead and graph this. Okay, and we're going to draw Bob again. And the reason why I draw Bob is, especially on problems like this, we want to make sure that Bob is standing on the line, so it's easier to tell what above and below is. So here we go, we have Bob. And it says that y is greater than or equal to -2x plus 3. So we have to think about how Bob is, and it says that it's greater than or equal to. So does greater than mean above Bob, or under or less than below Bob? And again, because it says greater than, that means that it should be above the line, or not under Bob. So above and around him. Okay. Now I want you to try. I want you to try graphing y is greater than 2x minus 4. Then I want you to put this graph on your notes so that we can check it the next day in class. That's all for now. See you guys next time.